Welcome to another exciting episode by Marvelous Videos. I'm your host Gemma, and today I'll be taking you through Jonny Quest cartoon franchise Explored. As children, we all enjoyed watching animations and cartoon shows. Some animated shows have been so successful that they have been popular among adults too. Jonny Quest is one of those animated shows which have been well known since the release of its first season. Jonny Quest began as a television show between 1964 and 1965, produced by Hanna-Barbera-Warner Bros. Doug Wildey, who was a cartoonist and comic book artist, was the creative mind behind this cartoon series. Jonny Quest is the account of an 11-year-old American kid who joins his father, who is a scientist, on incredible adventures. The first program of this franchise, The Adventures of Jonny Quest, is where it all began. The franchise expanded to encompass 2 further television shows, 2 movies, and 3 video games. Chris McKay, the maker of Jonny Quest, has linked the film to Raiders of the Lost Ark, an Indiana Jones movie. McKay discussed his thoughts on the Jonny Quest project in an interview with Collider. He emphasised the story's breadth and its capacity to blend into more current-day studio blockbusters. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. What the cartoon television series is all about. Jonny Quest, which was inspired by radio shows and graphic novels in the action and adventure genre, had more realistic characters and plots than Hanna-Barbera's prior presentations. Jonny Quest was one of many Hanna-Barbera action series, including Space Ghost, Birdman, the Galaxy Trio, and the Herculoids in the following years. For one season, the show aired during primetime on ABC. Reruns of the show aired on 3 of the most significant television networks in the United States for over 2 decades. The classic Jonny Quest cartoon primetime series, which aired on ABC on 18th of September 1964, is famous and has been a source of motivation through the years, and yet there is still so much to learn about it. Dr. Benton Quest, a scientist, travels the world examining peculiar events assigned to him by the state. His son's government-assigned bodyguard, Roger Bannon, also known as Race, his son Johnny, Johnny's dog, Bandit, and Johnny's best friend, Hajit Singh, are with him. The tasks frequently and easily turn into puzzles and adventures, generally as a result of some nefarious person attempting to harness the phenomena for personal advantage, and even outright global dominance. During Johnny's myriad escapades, it was generally Johnny and Hadid who unintentionally discovered that nefarious powers were at work in the background. They would frequently fool the evil guys with pranks that youngsters their age would perform, tripping them, diverting them while driving, forcing them to take a wrong turn and causing them to step into booby traps. Sometimes the lads had to save Dr. Quest and race from their adversaries. And what is a good hero without an adversary? The majority of the team's problems were created by an evil scientist named Dr. Zinn. That would nearly escape each time, but so would Dr. Zinn. Despite having just 26 episodes, the series is still in syndication today. It paved the way for many cartoons to come, including all of the HB superhero animations such as Blue Falcon, Space Ghost, the Herculoids, and Birdman, and arguably led to HB producing versions of real action heroes such as the Justice League of America, known as the Super Friends in the Hanna-Barbera world. Hanna-Barbera produced new segments of Jonny Quest's show in 1986. The graphics were a little simpler, but the essence remained. In syndication, they mixed these broadcasts with the usual Jonny Quest episodes. Subsequently, a few television movies were made that revealed some key history, such as what happened to Johnny's mother, as well as some shocks such as Race having a child he's never met, Jessie. The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest broadcast 52 episodes in 1996 and 1997. Everything in the programme has been modified for the present period, along with a VR environment dubbed Quest World. For years, there have been pauses and turns on a live-action Jonny Quest film. Jonny Quest needed a second season, but Bill Hanna said no. In the mid-1980s, developer Doug Wildey proposed to Joe Barbara a new edition of Jonny Quest dubbed Young Dr. Quest, which would feature Jonny as a 22-year-old who has graduated from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and would have escapades with an older Race Bannon and Hagid. Barbara was not interested. Producer Joe Barbara commissioned Wildey to undertake some conceptual design on a series based on the older popular radio programme Jack Armstrong, but adopted for the modern era. The plan was to include a young adolescent protagonist in fast-paced escapades and mysteries. It was felt that an original production instead of a licensed material would be more cost-effective and provide for greater studio control. Wildey relied on his knowledge of classic films, such as those starring Jackie Cooper and Frankie Darro, as well as Milt Caniff's newspaper comic strip, Terry and the Pirates. Barbara was a fan of the James Bond film Dr. No, 1962, which inspired the primary villain, Dr. Zinn, as well as the show's overall pseudo-spy tone. Paul Power, the artist of the show, has numerous talents, one of which is that is a cartoonist. In 1973, he was coached by Alex Toth while working on HB's Super Friends in Sydney, Australia. Main characters of the cartoon series. Jonathan Jonny Quest. Jonny is a young 11-year-old American child who lost his mom when he was a small boy. Though he is not particularly interested in formal education, he is daring and athletic in general, having skills in scuba diving, judo, and gun handling. He accepts responsibilities gladly, focusing on his academics and handling adults with dignity. Tim Matheson was the actor who voiced this iconic character. Dr. Benton Quest. Dr. Quest is Jonny's dad and a scientist who works for the US government. He is regarded as one of the top 3 scientists around the world, with interests and technical expertise in a variety of subjects. As a single father raising Jonny and Hagid, he is diligent and loving, yet ready and willing to take aggressive, radical action when essential for survival or protection. Benton Quest was voiced for 5 episodes by John Stevenson and the rest of the series by Don Messick. Roger T. Bannon, or Race. Race is an Intelligence One special agent, plus bodyguard, plus pilot. Fears that Jonny would slip into the wrong hands led to Bannon's assignment to protect and teach him. Race was born to Sarah and John Bannon in Wilmot, Illinois. He is a judo master with a 3rd-degree black belt and the capacity to defeat notable practitioners in many martial arts, particularly sumo wrestlers. Mike Road provided the character's voice, while his design was based on the famous actor Jeff Chandler. Stretch Bannon and Race Dunhill, from a previous Doug Wildey cartoon strip, inspired the name. The last name, Bannon, is derived from the Irish word O'Bannon, which means white.
Sim sim salabim! Sim sim salabim!
Hagid Singh. Hagid is a streetwise 11-year-old Calcutta orphan who becomes Dr. Benton Quest's adoptive son and Jonny's best friend. He is skilled in judo, which he learnt from an American Marine, and is rarely shown without his bedazzled turban and Nehru jacket. Hagid, the 7th son of a 7th son, appears to have supernatural skills such as snake charming, the ability to levitate, magical powers, and hypnotism, which might or might not be due to parlour tricks. Dr. Quest meets Hagid while giving lectures at the Calcutta University, where Hagid saves Dr. Quest's life by deflecting a thrown dagger aimed at the professor with a basket lid, and is later adopted into the Quest family. Though a little more reserved than Jonny, Hadget can always be convinced into joining his adoptive brother in almost any excursion. Danny Bravo provides his voice. Hadget is revealed to be an Indian royal in the spin-off series The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest and is given the surname Singh. Bandit. Jonny's pet is a little white dog named Bandit. He was given this moniker because his eyes are surrounded by a black, mask-like strip. This colouring is used to help foil opponents on occasion. Though unable to talk, he appears to comprehend human speech and is competent at making intricate facial expressions similar to other Hanna-Barbera cartoon canines. Don Messick created the voice effects for Bandit, which were blended with an old tape of a real dog barking. Developer of the series, Doug Wildey, wanted a monkey to be Jonny's pet originally, but Hanna-Barbera vetoed him. Bandit was also planned to be a bulldog, according to Wildey. Bandit, on the other hand, does not adhere to any specific breed. His tail is far too long for just any bulldog breed. Unless he stays a puppy all through the series, he is too little to be an English bulldog. Because his ears are floppy, he does not meet the breed criteria for a French bulldog. He matches a pug in many respects, with the exception that pugs have a unique bent tail. There are 3 cartoons in the Jonny Quest cartoon franchise. Jonny Quest 1964. Jonny Quest, sometimes known by the name The Adventures of Jonny Quest, is a 1-season animated American science fiction, action and adventure TV show produced by Hanna-Barbera that aired on ABC from 1964 to 1965. It was resurrected in syndication for a brief 13-episode run in 1986. It's about a child who goes on remarkable adventures with his scientist father. Doug Wildey, a comic book artist, conceived and designed it. After 20 years of repetitions, during which time the series aired on all 3 main US television networks, new episodes of The New Adventures of Jonny Quest were released for broadcast in 1986 as part of Hanna-Barbera's 2nd season of the Fantastic World. In the 1990s, 2 television films, a graphic novel series, and a new revival series named The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest were developed. Characters from the show also feature in the Venture Bros. It's easy to overlook how inventive Jonny Quest was. There were only 3 prior animated primetime series in 1964. Hanna-Barbera's The Flintstones, The Jetsons, and Top Cat. Those first 3 programs were designed to make people laugh by sharing funny stories with typically cartoonish artwork. The Adventures of Jonny Quest were a very different story. Jonny was the first to bring genuine adventure to primetime animation. In fact, being the first and the best are not always synonymous. However, in this situation, it is true. But despite its place in history, we are delighted to announce that Jonny Quest remains a terrific series all these years down the line. The illustrator, Doug Wildey, is widely credited with creating Jonny Quest. Wildey was a fantastic artist with a vivid imagination and a sizable library of popular mechanics periodicals from which to find inspiration. When the show debuted on ABC one evening in September 1964, it was a reasonably realistic show with danger, science, and intrigue.
Yay! He did it!
The appearance of the programme was strongly influenced by Wildey's designs, who was immensely influenced by Mitt Caniff, author of the cartoon series Terry and the Pirates. Jonny Quest used dramatic lighting and strong blacks among the characters and backdrops, as well as accurately proportionate humans. Unlike other animations of the period, Jonny, the son of researcher Dr. Benton Quest, who engaged in freelancing projects for the US government, was the subject. Dr. Quest was a major asset to the administration, but Quest's family was viewed as a problem since they were defenseless. Jonny was appointed a tutor and bodyguard when Mrs. Quest died. Roger C. Race Bannon, who had previously had a rather exciting past as a federal operative was the guy who filled that post. The event was not all heavy stuff, with a few moments of levity, including Johnny's bulldog, Bandit. Johnny had a sort of adopted brother in the form of an Indian boy named Hajit, who possessed mystic skills. This was one modest concession to the fantastical in a series that otherwise attempted to disprove paranormal events. The Quest team was based on Palm Key Island off the coast of Florida. The Quest crew was usually sent out on scientific missions, had to avoid thieves intent on inquiring secret discoveries, and encountered strange hazards of paranormal events. Jonny Quest was remarkable for its degree of violence since it debuted before tighter network self-censorship. Villains are frequently killed and nobody seems to mind. Even the boys are not immune to punishment. The intense tone of this program, which is intended to be about a boy protagonist, is made more bearable by the premise that Dr. Quest is the protagonist in many respects. The story mainly focuses on him, and the kids frequently blend into the background as Dr. Quest and race do business. Jonny Quest originally aired for 1 year before being cancelled due to expense overruns. Despite its success, the show's hefty budget prevented it from continuing. Jonny Quest cost roughly 40% more to create than previous Hanna-Barbera series, dooming it to what appeared to be a short but brilliant existence. Fortunately, the program maintained its appeal and reached new generations of fans by airing on mornings on Saturday on CBS in 1967 and NBC in 1978. It was also syndicated, and in the 1980s, it was included in the fantastic world of Hanna-Barbera block. The New Adventures of Jonny Quest, 1986. More than 2 decades after the conclusion of his initial 26-episode series, the youthful explorer and his buddies returned in 1986 as a portion of the syndication Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera program for 13 more journeys into the fascinating and unknown. Johnny, his researcher father, guard Race Bannon, Indian companion Hajid, and comic relief family dog Bandit explore the world, solve bizarre cases, and combat a slew of villains, including their old arch enemy, Dr. Zinn. Whereas the new series lacks the creepy danger that pervaded in the 1960s stories, the toned down adventures are entertaining enough to keep children interested. New Adventures appears to be more like a conventional cartoon program with easier to animate graphics and less focus on the old show's comic strip style. The newest storylines also had a stronger fantasy bent, incorporating more overt science fiction elements, including things like time travel and adding a rock man named Hard Rock to the group. Fans of the series knew it wouldn't be the same, but it was still exciting to watch fresh adventures. The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest, 1996. The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest, also known popularly as Jonny Quest, The Real Adventures, is a Cartoon Network animated television series that aired from August 26, 1996 until April 16, 1997. It spotlights teenage explorers Jonny Quest, Jesse Bannon, and Hajit Singh as they support Dr. Benton Quest and Race Bannon, the bodyguard, to investigate bizarre phenomena, legends, and mysteries in faraway locations. It is a continuation of the Jonny Quest 1964 and the New Adventures of Jonny Quest 1986 series. The action is also taking place in Quest World, a 3-dimensional cyber world portrayed with computer animation. Real Adventures, which was developed in the early 90s, had a long and turbulent development. The version adds Race's adolescent daughter, named Jessie, to the characters, aged Hajid and Johnny a few years, and made them hunkier, and combined CGI with conventional animation. It even featured a virtual reality environment where the youngsters frequently went. The program has its detractors, which is exasperated by the reality that there are 2 editions of the show, while season 1 was animated by multiple separate companies. However, season 2 was animated by a single company. Each season features a separate set of character models and voice performers, while the series was advertised as a sequel or continuation to the initial 1960 series, despite the fact that the group was only a few years older, and it made several significant modifications to the established canon. Hagrid, in particular, is now 2 years senior to Jonny, has considerably more subtle magical powers, and works as Dr. Quest's assistant. The series mostly disregards earlier versions of the series, such as the 1980 series, although it borrows parts from the 2 TV features, such as reconstructing Jesse's character.
Log on. 3, 1. Hodge.
The Quest team embarks on a series of new findings and adventures against 3 formidable opponents: the wicked researcher, Dr. Jeremy Surd, furious former federal agent Ezekiel Rage, and Dr. Quest's cunning arch-rival, Dr. Zinn. In 1996, Hanna-Barbera fired creator Peter Lawrence and brought in new producers to complete the project. Lawrence's work was finished by Cosmo Anzalotti and John Eng, while Davis Doe, David Lippman, and Larry Houston authored new episodes with updated character designs reminiscent of original Quest. Each team was responsible for half of the program's 52 episodes. Later, writers employed science fiction and supernatural storylines, but Lawrence's team used real-world mystery and investigation. Turner backed the show with a large marketing effort, including 33 licenses. Real Adventures launched on Cartoon Network, TNT, and TBS in an unprecedented broad release, running 21 times each week. Critics have disputed the show's animation, script, and spirit in comparison to the original Quest, although it also garnered acclaim in those categories. Real Adventures was cancelled after 52 episodes due to low ratings within its target markets and poor product performance. Warner Home Video and Turner Home Entertainment have issued 2 laserdiscs, 8 VHS tapes, and 26 DVD episodes, with repeats airing on Toonami, CNX, and other Turner networks. In 2013, the iTunes Store made all 52 episodes available for digital purchase. Thanks to the efforts of art director Takashi Matsunaga, the primary figure resembles the old Jonny Quest. The CGI and digital painting undoubtedly added to the visual appeal. Lawrence studied genuine phenomena such as the airstrips of Nazca, the likely presence of giant squid, or the ruins of Teotihuacan, with the hopes of making this an X-Files for youngsters.
An all-new Jonny Quest is back in Johnny's Golden Quest, a USA world premiere movie.
2 telefilms, Johnny's Golden Quest and Jonny Quest versus the cyber insects Johnny's Golden Quest. Johnny's Golden Quest is a 1993 animated telefilm starring Jonny Quest. It takes place after and refers to the 2 previous Jonny Quests series. Johnny's Golden Quest takes place in the 1980s and has flashbacks of Johnny's mother. This is also when Jessie first appears. It is an animation made for the television movie made by Hanna-Barbera that first broadcast on the USA Network on the 4th of April in 1993. It is a sequel to the 1964-1965 cartoon series Jonny Quest and its 1986 reboot, The New Adventures of Jonny Quest, from the segment The Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera. Don Messick reprises his role as Dr. Benton Quest, with Granville Van Dusen playing the role of Race Bannon, and also Rob Paulson voicing Hagrid from the series in 1986 in Johnny's Golden Quest. Will Nipper plays Jonny Quest, Andy McPhee plays Jessie, Joe Beth Williams plays Jade Kenyon, and Jeffrey Tambor plays Dr. Zinn. The primary storyline of Johnny's Golden Quest is based on the episode Deadly Junket, from the New Adventures of Jonny Quest. In that segment, a little girl enters and requests assistance from the Quest party in locating her missing dad, a scientist abducted by Dr. Zinn. Jonny and his buddies team up with the girl to find her missing dad in a Mayan community. In this episode, the girl in question, Jessie, is eventually discovered to have been dishonest about her background, and her parents are Race and Jade, Race's love interest from 2 segments of the original series. Jonny Quest versus the Cyber Insects. Jonny Quest versus the Cyber Insects, also popularly known by the name Jonny's Global Impact, is a Hanna-Barbera animated television film. It debuted on TNT on November 19, 1995, and was the final installment of the legendary Jonny Quest franchise. The film was created as a component of a Year of Jonny Quest as a follow-up of the program The New Adventures of Jonny Quest, with the same performers voicing Dr. Quest and Race Bannon. This role was Don Messick's final appearance as Dr. Quest within the Jonny Quest franchise. Tim Matheson, Jonny's primary voice actor, reprised his role as 4DAC. The storyline had scary cyborgs, techno-speak, and computer-assisted data battles, all set against good old-fashioned theatrical evil, with a screenplay by J. Larry Carroll and David Bennett Caron. In addition to the existing cast, this storyline introduces Race's child, Jessie Bannon, who was first seen in Jonny's Golden Quest in 1993 and is voiced by Andy McPhee once more. According to the Atlanta Journal-Consultation, Jessie is, to quote a critic, no icky girl. Not only does she rescue Jonny when alarmingly big fire ants strike, but she also teaches him patience. She is a true badass female character. A test viewing of Cyber Insects with 30 to 35-year-old adult males indicated that, while some questioned her inclusion, most realised that, like the classic series, the update is a mirror of its times. The film's speed and the overall emotional good generated by the potential extinction of civilization were critiqued by the Hollywood Reporter's critic. Praised several brilliant moments of banter in the teleplay. Jeffrey Tambor and Hector Elizondo stole the show with signature style in voice talent, according to the critic, while animation heads Ron Myrick and Marlene May brilliantly built 2 visual, compelling universes with excellent animation. The film is named in honour of Doug Wildey, the developer of Jonny Quest, who passed away in 1994, 1 year after Jonny's Golden Quest premiered on the USA Network. This film spanned the gap between both the original and also the real versions, and it was billed as Jonny Quest's final performance. In the film, a bizarre weather phenomena occurs all across the planet. Jonny discovers that it's from space, and he employs his spaceship to prevent Dr. Cybernetic Zinn's insects from ruining the Earth. Cartoon casts. Quinton Flynn voicing Jonny Quest. Quinton Flynn is a voice actor and comedian from the United States who has performed the English voices for video game protagonists such as Marcus Damon from the Digimon Data Squad, Raiden from the Metal Gear series, and Leah and Axel from the Kingdom Hearts series. J.D. Roth voicing Jonny Quest. J.D. Roth, born James David Wenroth on April 20th, 1968, is an American media personality, actor, kids game show presenter, voiceover performer on several television programs, and reality show producer. Roth is a co-creator of the NBC reality television show The Biggest Loser. He also presented ABC's Opportunity Knocks in the fall of 2008. He was the announcer for the ABC television show Extreme Weight Loss. John Delancey voicing Dr. Benton C. Quest. John Sherwood Delancey Jr., born on 20th of March 1948, is an American director, actor, producer, author, educator, and comedian best recognised for his role as Q in numerous Star Trek series from 1987 to the present, starting with Star Trek, The Next Generation, and ending with Star Trek Picard's second season in 2022. George Segal, voicing Dr. Benton C. Quest. George Segal Jr. was a well-known American actor. He rose to prominence in the 60s and 70s for his ability to perform both tragic and humorous parts. He rose to fame after appearing in critically praised films such as Ship of Fools in 1965 and King Rat in 1965, and he co-starred in the legendary drama named Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf in 1966. Robert Foxworth, voicing Roger T. Bannon or Race. Robert Heath Foxworth, born on 1st of November in 1941, is a film, theatre and television actor from the United States. Foxworth was raised in Texas, in the city of Houston, and is the son of writer Erna Beth, also known as Seaman, and roofing contractor John Howard Foxworth. He graduated from Lamar High School and went on to obtain a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Acting from Carnegie Mellon University. Robert Patrick, voicing Roger T. Bannon or Race. Mr. Robert Hammond Patrick is an American actor who was born on November 5th, 1958. He is also a Saturn Award recipient with 4 additional nominations for his portrayal of villains and noble, authoritative figures. Patrick withdrew from his university education when a theatre class piqued his love for acting, and he began his career in movies in 1986. The Guardian described Patrick as a character actor, while AllMovie critic Tracy Cooper said that by the end of The X-Files in 2002, the legendary Patrick had established a strong reputation inside the business. Granville Van Dusen, voicing Roger T. Bannon or Race. Granville Van Dusen, born March 16, 1944, in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, is an American stage, screen and voice actor, best known for his role as Race Bannon for the 1986 television show The New Adventures of Jonny Quest. Michael Benyea, voicing Hajit Singh. Michael Benyea is an American comedian actor who was born on May 25, 1970. He is most recognised for his appearances as Bob inside the Canadian CGI program Reboot and Hajit Singh in The Real Adventures of Jonny Quest's first season. Benyea said of portraying Hajit, he is one of the rare non-bad guys parts for an ethnic actor. How often have East Indian protagonists appeared on television? Hajit is really for the sensitive children among us. He represents the outcast in each of us. Rob Paulson, voicing Hajit Singh. Rob Paulson, born on 11th of March 1965, is a voice actor from the United States. He is well recognised for his appearances in the animated series Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as Raphael in 1987 and Donatello in 2012. Paulson has provided the voice for over 250 distinct cartoon characters and over 1,000 commercials. For his portrayal as Pinky, he is the recipient of a Daytime Emmy Award for his outstanding performer in an animated program, as well as 3 Annie Awards.
Say freeze!
Interesting facts about the cartoon. During the 50s and early 60s, radio serials, dramatic stories presented over the airwaves, TV serials such as The Lone Ranger, and graphic novels were popular. In the early 1960s, Hanna-Barbera Productions was producing animation entertainment for children, but it was all of a specific sort. The company's roster of shows up to 1963 was constructed around characters such as Huckleberry Hound, Top Cat, The Flintstones, Yogi Bear, Quick Draw McGraw, and The Jetsons. The firm recognised adventure and action as a theme that had yet to be explored in animated form. It would necessitate the creation of a completely new series from every one of their prior works. Doug Wildey, a comic book artist, was originally recruited to develop a cartoon based on the 1930s radio play Jack Armstrong, The Adventure Boy. All of this culminated in the development of one of the more inventive cartoons in history. Jonny Quest broke absolutely new territory in terms of how different it was from prior cartoons. Prior to this episode, animation was rather simplistic and far removed from reality. Jonny Quest's depiction of bright backdrops and astonishing details of the flying machines, crazy characters, gadgets, and cars, on the other hand, made viewers reconsider how cartoons could be. The images were truly quite realistic, something no other animation had done before. The antagonists were darker and creepier than anything spectators had ever seen before, which drew the attention of both children and adults. During a time when graphics had not evolved very far, creators could sketch any insane thing they hoped would happen in a cartoon. Jonny Quest ran for only one season with 26 episodes, despite becoming a notable TV and animation milestone today. The show's production costs forced Hanna-Barbera to terminate it. Even the business that killed it learnt from it, as proven by the subsequent action and adventure cartoons. To say this animation is pioneering is an understatement of the highest kind. The animation aired on ABC during the 1964 to 1965 TV season during prime time. The realistic approach and precise animation set it apart from the rest of Hanna-Barbera's animation and pretty much every other cartoon created up until that moment. The show was a homage to early action serials and films, but unlike those, there were no boundaries to the bizarre. This enabled the program to depict a plethora of fantastic looking monsters, cars, and technologies, many of which are still recognized to this day. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
Cut them off! Blast the tanker!
Get this bucket moving, Race!